So this is kind of a build, if you will, or like a meta, if you will, that I found that I would like to share. I'm going to show you this as a Norse ruler, and I believe you have to be tribal, otherwise it doesn't really work. It's also one of the most beginner-friendly ways of playing the game, I think. You can basically do it anywhere that there is a tribal government type. Anywhere that the counties are tribal. I wouldn't try this as like a feudal leader. I don't think it would work at all. And you will be like shockingly sad after your playthrough if you try it as a feudal leader. The counties can be feudal, but you do have to be tribal or you have to be able to raid. I would imagine you can also do it if you get the practiced pirates culture thing, or if you found the kingdom of man and it lets you raid, right? You could do it as feudal if you're allowed to raid. So I'm just gonna quickly make a leader. So this is my goated girl who I'll be using to conquer the world. So first things first, as a tribal leader, Norse in particular, I always play Norse. Normally, if you play normally, you'll worry about like, getting control so your counties can get online. But with this build, you don't even need to worry about control. It's just that goated and busted. With all of the goddamn things you get, those being prestige, put them into Varangians. So right when you start, just do a hunt and a feast to get our prestige. We're going to put all, and I'm actually liking this character a lot. I'm going to keep on playing them after this video. But we're going to put all of our prestige into Varangians. Definitely make sure you work on your aesthetic. This is not acceptable. Last time I did this in Pomerania, so today I'm going to be doing it in Poland because I love Poland and I want to be there all the time. Some tips about raiding: if you find someone in a civil war, you can raid their country and then you can fight their armies. I'm going to go to this place and hope they attack me. You want the armies to come out, so look for, okay, they are attacking us, that's good, right? And then every battle that you win, you'll get more prestige, and that's what we're looking for. We need to be somewhere where we can do a lot of raiding. The more raiding you can do, the more prestige you can get. Okay, it's fine to take this hit to our fame. That's whatever. I just did the unthinkable and stole land that was not mine rightfully. Now, we can work on control, and I should let this so you can see, okay. We should work on control if we're planning on playing this game normally. But today I want to show you something. I'm going to take a bunch of these guys and not give the land to anybody else. Prestige is very important with this build, so we're going to want to anything that can give you prestige, you just keep on doing it. Because prestige is so important, it might have honestly been a better idea to do this where the rulers are a Satru, because then I would spend faith to invade them. But it's fine that we're here. Not for them. I mean, it's fine for us. We're going to now raid a bunch and try to get in as many fights as possible to get a bunch of prestige, to then conquer a bunch of stuff. So we are now beginning to get the debuff, which is fine. The reason it's fine is because as a tribal leader, prestige is what builds your army, right? We're going to lose all of our levies, which is fine, because instead of levies, we'll have 2,000 Varangian veterans once we max out our man-at-arms. Also, we don't need the money from our land because we'll be getting the money from raiding. Also, when you marry somebody, right, if you want to do more war better, you can do more war the best way by doing this, right? I married him, he has a really high martial, put him on martial, and I get really high martial. And right now for us, because we're tribal, we just need prestige, which means we need to win random battles while we raid. You will also get a lot of these because it will hit your popular opinion to be so high above your domain limit, but it won't matter because again, your Varangian veterans will just take care of it. See, when we win battles ourselves, look at my prestige right now. Boom, we get a bunch. And that's kind of how you make your income, is you raid. You just raid a lot. And then right now we're dumping all of our prestige into our army so no one can threaten us as we expand. But then once you finish doing that, you can literally just start upgrading every single tribal holding you have with all of the raid income you have. And then once you inevitably do end up settling down and calming down and chilling out, the land that you end up giving to vassals, preferably your family or something, or people who have aided you along the way, like the friends you made along the way, the land you give to them will be that much more just better because it'll be upgraded and stuff. And then if you become feudal, your land is already upgraded, so you get the decent buildings when you become feudal instead of turning feudal and then having to cry and whine because you didn't upgrade your buildings. This is honestly a very decent way to start off a campaign because as tribal rulers, really the only thing that can threaten, like for example, Khazaria is tribal. If this Khazaria was like any good, he would just make man-at-arms and be goated. But I mean, it's an AI, so what do you expect? The only things that can really threaten him are other tribal rulers, like, right, like his own vassals. We don't have vassals. We don't have to worry about vassal rebellion. And when the peasants rebel, it's like a cakewalk, because this is not CK2. When you're declaring war, be careful about conquering a duchy, or, you know, obviously don't subjugate them, because then you'll have a vassal. But if you conquer a duchy, sometimes it also, like, gives you vassals too. Like, if I were to conquer Kuwavia, I believe I would get them as a vassal. This lady right here, this young lady, this young stupid. So conquer, like, county by county. There is no rush. Land doesn't matter anyway. Not right now, it doesn't. Perhaps in the future, when my family holds these lands legitimately. And then notice how the vassal opinion modifier for having more domain doesn't affect your courtiers. So not only are your courtiers loyal to you because you're goated, and goated characters always have loyal courtiers, because people like seeing success, you also get legitimacy too, by conquering. Like, it's just a goated way to play the game. And then I'm literally letting them raid my land. Like, I do not care about it right now. Just because I'm getting, I mean, this looks bad and it feels bad, but you get income through raiding. And then eventually you don't even have levies, and levies are the thing that cost money to upkeep. So you don't even lose money when you have your army up anyway. And then remember, when you get money, you can do a feast to expand your army. Feast, hunts, enjoy yourself, you deserve it. So see, at this point, we basically have no levies. But for what we lack in levies, we have Varangian veterans. Eventually also, your buildings will be disabled. So you won't be getting bonuses to your attack, but your army is literally 2,000 Varangian veterans. Or if you're playing in like the steppe or like wherever else, it's 2,000 of your best man-at-arms. So yeah, I feel like at this point you sort of get the idea, right? Like, you understand the method. You don't have to give your land away. Like, the next thing I'll do is go raid somewhere. Maybe Great Moravia, I'll find a way to get there, I don't know. But like, they're in a civil war, so their armies are going to be walking around, so you can go down there and just take all of them out. And that would give you prestige. I'll probably raid, like, I'll probably go out the river and just like find more places to raid, get more money, put that money into feasts and tournaments, maybe, you know, etc. You use your raiding money to get prestige, or you use your raiding fighting battles to get prestige as well. Tribal rulers get a lot of prestige, and they basically only need prestige to survive. Eventually then I would start upgrading my land. And then when I want vassals, right, I'll end up getting vassals. You can basically expand however much you want. Just because the events, you know, like hosting tournaments, or like, you know, catching an animal when you're falcon. Like, I just got 1,000 prestige from doing falconry. Events give you so much prestige, so does raiding when you don't have like goated events you can do. When it's time for secession, like my lands will split, well, one, it doesn't matter, because as a tribal ruler especially, your eldest leader is just going to get your man-at-arms and then be able to conquer the other people if you want to do that. But you could also, if you're playing as Norse, you can add succession laws. The only thing that might really be a problem, and you see, when I did my Pomerania campaign, there weren't conquerors in the game, but they have added conquerors, so like, that's the only thing that's a real problem, is if a conqueror appears on the map, you don't really have the numbers to like really take them out unless you're a king and then get that extra man-at-arms slot. 2,000 Varangians might not be enough to take out a conqueror, which is the only caveat to this strategy. You can also get an accolade for specifically heavy infantry, which will give you more and more and more heavy infantry potential. Or if you're playing in like the steppe, you could get an accolade for horse archers, and these accolades increase the amount of regiments you can get in one man-at-arms like division, I guess you would call it. So instead of 5, you can get up to like 10, or like I've had like 11. So there are ways to increase the amount of man-at-arms you can get, but I do think you understand the method at this point. You understand it enough to either criticize it or love it and adore it, like I love it and adore it. I'm gonna honestly, I like this little country right here that I've carved out for myself. I like the river. I love rivers. I like the capital is next to a river because I love rivers, and I like the way it's shaped. I'm gonna keep on playing this campaign. If you have any questions about the strategy that maybe I didn't answer. But yeah, let me just summarize. You don't give land away, so vassals don't you don't have any vassals to care about, which does not affect your courtiers, your land becomes useless, so investing in it, right, trying to get the control up isn't necessarily a big deal because it's useless anyway. Once you decide you want to start settling down, another thing is that when you do start to go down the control thing, all of your land is going to be able to get these bonuses to control. Like if you're an overseer, every single one of your domain will start getting them. When you publicly execute people, it gives control bonus to all of your domain. And then you can get the wealth you get through raiding. I know I don't have a lot right now, but this is because like I just invested it in stuff. It's snowing. Dude, it's snowing. At my house right now, it's snowing. That's awesome. I love snow. And I love you. Thank you for watching. But yeah, have a nice day and bye bye.